Hello. It's funny because seeing my face doesn't make me feel as sad as I just was a second ago. I was looking at old pictures and I was really sad looking at them. Looking from stuff like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. And seeing myself now in this lighting, I guess I can be a bit dramatic, but it just feels like sometimes you look back at pictures from a little bit ago and you feel like you've lost so much, or you remember how you felt in those moments and all the limiting things that held you back. I was watching a video where I was dancing or trying to dance in 2021. And I thought it was so ugly and so weird, but I still posted it. And I've looked back on some posts from, God, like 2018. And I saw one and my hair was just so pretty. And I was like really depressed today. You can't tell because like it looks pretty good in this light, I guess, but I just took some really ugly pictures of my hair and really ugly lighting too. Like the crown. You can probably see if I tip it. It's like losing right there. And that's been a thing probably for about 10 years. But it's so sad. It's like depressing. And it's weird to look back on when I was, 5 years ago, 5 years younger, and I remember the first time I cut all my hair off, and I thought I looked like a Holocaust survivor. And it doesn't even look at all how it looks when I cut it all off now. Last time I cut it all off was in March or so of this year. And there's a lesson there that 5 years from now, I could look back on the hair that I now think is ugly and not good enough, and the face that I think is ugly and not good enough, or look at the acne I have or the wrinkles, and 5 years from now I'll be looking back on that, wishing I loved how beautiful I was in that moment. We can get so caught up, I guess, like looking at the past, and then even then I was doing that like 5 years ago. I'm gonna start committing to the things that matter to me in life. I've been committing to the things that matter to me, because this consistency is what matters. And I could talk in this video about all those things. Maybe I will, but I don't want to do that right now. Fuck. I saw a couple of posts I made 5 years ago, about 5 years ago now. And it's been 5.5 years since I met my twin flame. I don't like to use that word because it's, But the reason I bring that up is because I was looking at old pictures and he had liked a couple of the pictures I made, and I guess the special thing about it too, like he always liked interesting posts. He probably saw all of them, but he liked really interesting ones. So he liked one I made of my art when I was really depressed, and I put it in a collage, this piece of art with my grandma and pictures of her. And he liked that. It wasn't me. It wasn't like shirtless pictures. It wasn't just like a hot picture. It was something that was like my soul. And he liked another picture I had where when I first got this tattoo, and I was surprised that I could see that he still liked it, because I thought I had blocked him on that account. I thought after you block people, or they block you, and there's been so much blocking that's happened over the past 5 years and very little talking. I don't know, that just made me emotional. That someone could love parts of me that aren't even part of my ego. Like, this tattoo is so connected to who I feel like I am. And that's what he really fucking likes. That's the only thing he likes. Twin flame path is really weird and complicated. And it's very fucking lonely. And I know he's my twin flame. I don't care what he thinks or what he feels. If he feels like I'm just some weird stranger, that's okay. But my reality and my truth is my truth, and I get to fucking have that. And I know it beyond a shadow of a doubt that in my truth, he's my twin flame, and our souls are the same. And it doesn't make any sense right now. Like any of the things that have happened, or the things that haven't happened. But I've grown a lot as a person in the past 5 years, and I've lost a lot of hair. But I'm gonna be loving and kind for the hair that I do have. Because 5 years from now, I'll probably look back on this and wish I had the same amount of health, or look the same or something. But there is sometimes like a melancholy that's okay to feel, and a nostalgia. It's a weird feeling, nostalgia. Because all that really matters is what's happening right now in the present. Nothing else. I'll tell you about my dreams, or my commitments, which are the same things, later. But I want to talk about what's going on right now in life. So I have been struggling a lot with money. I struggled with money all my life. And I have a lot of habits with money and work that are interesting. I don't know how to describe them other than interesting. Like, when I was a student, like a child and a high schooler, I was like a perfect student. And I was expected to be perfect, but I wasn't really nourished or taken care of. I was like neglected, but I was expected to be perfect. And I was perfect, even though I was never watered. And eventually I just crashed. And by the time I got to senior year of high school, I took only 5 classes and my life just was like crashed completely. And going into college, I had all of this pent up residual pain from being neglected for years and being not cared about, not having my emotional needs met or physical needs. And I'm not here to like guilt trip my parents, because they did the best they could with what they had and what they knew. And also, there's a lot worser people have been treated, but that doesn't take away from the pain and the trauma that I experienced. And a lot of people experience trauma in the guise of something that looks very healthy or normal, when it's not. And I think I just crashed. And by the time I graduated high school, my whole adult life was just dependent and burnt out and chaotic and lost and wanting to feel safe in someone else. I think a lot of gay men have that experience too. I wanted to feel safe with an older man because I didn't get a lot of emotional safety or feeling of physical safety from my dad. And, I'm really proud of myself because I've moved past that a lot and healed that. But my finances have always been chaotic. And I never liked showing up to work 40 hours a week. That's my biggest hindrance. And when I would burn out, or I'd crash, or I'd sleep in, or I would be late all the time. Scarcity in time, scarcity in money, scarcity in energy. Scarcity all the time. And I didn't know how to be free, and I wanted to be free. And weirdly, working a 9 to 5 that pays a good amount and having a college degree is my fucking freedom. I'm fucking sorry. But all the people that say you need to break out of the mold and be, something different and do things differently, like, shut the fuck up. The people that say you need to break out of the mold and not follow the cookie cutter thing, for some people, getting a college degree and getting a job that gives you like $20, $25 an hour gives you the stability that you have never had in your life. And it's a privilege for these fucking people to say, oh, break out of the mold. You have daddy's money. You have mommy's money. You don't have the weight of years of trauma and neglect and abuse that weighs you down, I am certain that anyone could break out of the mold and do it unconventionally if there was nothing weighing them down. I'm not here to make anyone a victim, but I am here to be fucking real. We can't live in La La Land where we pretend that everyone's dealt the same fucking cards. They're not. And I believe that the people that go through more pain and go through more difficulty, not only do they maybe just want a simple fucking life. They don't need to be millionaires. They don't need to have a shit ton of money, although some of them will be. They just want safety. And I feel so close to safety. It's hard for me to look at the camera. But I feel so close to safety. And what's getting me there is working a regular job. And I have never had the energy to work a regular job in my whole adult life until now. And what's changed is I have a home, I have an apartment, and it's quiet, and it's still, and no one lives here but me, and I have a kitchen, and I have a bathroom, and I can dance, and I can sing, and I can be as gay as I fucking want to be, and I can stay up as long as I want. And I may not always have a lot of money for food. And I sometimes can't pay my bills. But I haven't worked a regular job consistently for more than like 6 months. And I usually fall out of it because there's always shitty people. Like, one of the things I notice about a regular full-time job, there's always drama. There's always shitty people. Some are shittier than others. And I've worked for some people that try to pick you apart and abuse you and put you down. And those are the jobs that I couldn't last at. And in this new job I have, I like who I work for. I like what I do. I like working for a school. I like substitute teaching. I like working with kids a lot. I'm really good at it. Sometimes I wish I could say things in a better way. Sometimes I wish I could make more of an impact. But I already know that I'm really good at this, working with kids. And I'm going on a tangent, but that's what my life is right now. And my rent is due on Friday, which is in 4 days. And I have $100 in my bank account, and that is not nearly enough. And there's people in my life that I can ask for help from, but it fills me with so much fucking guilt. Why is there $100 in my bank account? Because I was sick for a week. And then the next week, I worked like two days, and then I got super burnt out. And I'm trying to work tomorrow, all week. Actually, I'm trying to work all week. That's what I need to do to make sure I pay my bills. And there's no man coming to help me. There's no man gonna come into my life to support me. It's not gonna happen. the only man that's going to come to support me is me. And unfortunately, the only men that are going to be in my life spending money on me are the men that come after I've figured my life out for myself. Because that's when you're the most magnetic. And at that point, I won't need him to be in my life. I might not even want him to be. But he's going to want to be in my life. And so he's going to have to spend a lot of money and energy and time on me to be in my life that I've worked very hard for alone to make happy. I really like talking to you. There was a little girl today that came back from the bathroom and said someone had written in the bathroom stall, "Me as a loser," and it was her. Fucking people are so mean. And they just get meaner as they get older, and I had to talk to this girl. And I brought her out in the hallway and I said, you know, girls will just be cruel and mean. And I told her, I think you're a kind person from what I've seen. I think you're a good person. I like who you are. I don't think you're a loser. And I told her, girls that are mean are usually act that way because they're insecure or don't feel good about themselves. And it's hard to understand, but they'll continue to be that way in middle school and high school. And the quicker you can understand how they work, the better you'll be. And I don't know, I cried a little bit about that girl too. Because she told me one time, like, these same group of girls was talking, and she's brown. I don't know if I think she is Spanish, but doesn't speak Spanish. Not Spanish, but Mexican. And some of the kids are native, some are Mexican, some are white. And that's it. That's like the only nationalities. I don't think there's any Asian kids or black kids or any of that. But she said one time she was waiting to go home and the girls talked about her in Spanish and said she was ugly. And she went into the car and she just cried. She didn't even tell her mom what happened. And I try to teach these kids more than just content of education. I like to have fun with them too. You can do a lot of silly things with 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds, like, especially boys. They're so compliant for chaotic things. So you can be like, I'm going to turn on music for 30 seconds and you're going to have a dance party, but no falling on the floor and no crazy. Ready, go. Okay. Boys love to dance. Like, little boys love to dance. And they love to, like, run around and do crazy things. Sometimes I'll tell them, you need to have they'll ask something of me, and I'll say no. And then I'll say, okay, well, maybe you can do that if you have a silent meltdown for 15 seconds. And I'll count down and I'll say 15, 14, and then go, I'm like, I'm like, more, make it believable, you know? I have so much fun. And I'm gonna stick at this job. And I think it's going to save me from this problem that I've had of inconsistency. Because in the past, it's felt like working a 9 to 5, working a 40-hour work week felt like a trap. But also I was watching the videos from the Holocaust, and I resonate with the Holocaust a lot. So much so that I feel like I have past lives in that experience, and maybe in a lot of different circumstances. 100% in, I don't want to get into details, but I remember getting killed with like a brother or a family member in a gas chamber, and then I remember a different experience of not getting killed and being like worked to death. And they were working like they had no food, first of all. They were given almost no food, like kept at a starving level. And then they only got like 4 hours of sleep. And they worked like 14-hour days, 7 days a week. So for me, it's like, well, fuck, if they can do it and keep going, and people literally work like that and kept going. This is a little off topic, but something that disgusts me is seeing modern day bitch boys on the internet. And I'm not talking about like femme gay boys. I'm talking about like bitch boy men who behave like fucking weak little egotistical bitch boys on Instagram, and mainly Instagram. The reason it disgusts me is because there were millions of people, and not just in the Holocaust, but millions of people that struggled and lived and held on to life through immense pain and immense trauma, just to share their story, or they risked their life for something noble, or they believed in justice and fought for it, or they stood up like a hero. And I see all these weak fucking men on the internet posting stupid fucking shit. It's like, I think of all these people that have struggled and worked and died, all of these men especially, in the history of humanity, who have died for nobility and worked hard for things they love. And to see fucking weak pussy fucking bitch boys doing stupid shit on the internet, acting like fuck boys, is disgusting to me. Because men are supposed to be heroes. Men are supposed to be noble. Men are supposed to fight and work for the people they love, and protect and and have resilience for those people or for a cause. And yeah, sometimes living in a world of a lot of peace makes people stupid and ignorant and forget how much that peace costs. And I don't forget. And I never want to forget. So, looking back on either that experience or there's other experiences that really make me sad, and even modern day experiences that really juxtapose my life. And I think if these people can struggle, right, without food and have nothing and are worked and are traumatized and they can continue to persevere, then I can work 40 hours a week and spend my free time trying to build the life I want in other ways, which we can talk about what I want that to be, but which we will talk about, but I'm gonna end with that. I know I'm gonna be famous. Like, in this lifetime. Just a really weird feeling to have. It's a really weird feeling to have. But I know it. I believe it so deeply. And I think the fame and the attention comes from the person I am and the person I become. That's what I think. Because there's so many people that are like struggling, and there's a requirement of me to rise to my highest potential and also experience all of these different levels of the human experience. Like, so many levels of the human experience. And then I have real empathy for people of all different backgrounds because of all the different types of experiences I've had in life. You know? So my empathy, I'm already an empathetic person, but it broadens when you've lived a lot of diverse types of experiences. That's my superpower. But I got sick about a month ago, and I didn't finish this thought when I started talking about it. It fucked up my income. And so when I was paid on the 25th, it was $200. And it's now the 1st. And I have $100. And I made an extra $200. Actually made an extra $300. So I've lost $400 since the 25th. That money, I think there was like a Wi-Fi bill that's like $100. There was a collection of smaller bills that were about $100. I don't know when, I think the phone bill, I have to look at it, but point is, we lost $400 to bills, and then my rent is coming. That's what happens when you get sick. But I don't think I'm going to be homeless. I just think I need to figure out what I'm doing, and I need to show up for work. every day, even if I'm sick, until I get sick PTO. But actually, I do like my hair. I'm gonna try to start using something called finasteride, which is like another thing for hair loss. I've been using minoxidil for a long time. There's other things I want to do, but my biggest hindrance in life right now has been stability and money. And in the past, when I've worked full-time, I've burned myself out and I don't do anything else. But I also didn't have my own space that energized me. And my space now energizes me. It doesn't drain me. And before, I lived in places that drained me. So I would work, I would come home, I would feel drained. I would cope with the drained by detaching or chasing dopamine. You know, distracting myself watching Netflix or YouTube, copiously playing video games. I also tend to, when my life's really chaotic, I'll spend more on fast food just because it gives me a quick sense of safety. And it's difficult to try to eat and cook when my life doesn't feel stable at all. And I just want something to give me peace right here and now, and that's okay if that's what I want. Okay, so we need to finish the video. I'm waking up tomorrow at 7 and I have eggs in my fridge, which I could cook, and I do have protein powder that I can mix with water. And I have apples and bananas. We have a lot of food. We have options. I just need to be creative. I may not have money, but I do have food. My fridge isn't stocked full, but I have food, and I need to be innovative with what I have. Do you want to know about my dreams? I think I want to share them. They've been the same dreams since I was a little boy. And I think at some point you either get bitter and resentful and hold on to that negativity your whole life because you never followed your dream you had when you were 10, or you stick to your dream from 10 onwards, which is rare, or like me, you decide at some point to go fucking back to the thing that you always loved, no matter how good or not good you are at it. And I love dancing, and I love singing, and I love Shakespeare. And I love gymnastics. I love ballet and gymnastics. And I don't love drawing. I don't love composing. But I love dancing and singing and Shakespeare and gymnastics. I also love making videos on social media and the internet, like this. I love video games, and I love watching people play video games. And that's why I started making video games on YouTube, because I love that. And I know I'm not always the best player, but I love it. And I want to do that all the time. I want to post videos of me playing video games and put it on the internet all the fucking time, without caring if people love it or don't love it. Just being myself. And I don't love cleaning, but I love witchcraft and magic. I love magic. That's a better way to say it. I love magic. And my cleaning business, which I started, by the way, I started a business in the spring. And I'm a leader for a lot of people and friends I have that want to start business and have start businesses. Because I know what it's like. And I was trying to sustain myself fully on my business all summer. And it was really fucking hard. And I did it. For the most part. It wasn't great or perfect, but I love magic. And I feel like my cleaning business is about magic. And I want it to merge a little bit into gardening too. But it's hard to figure out what the brand is. Because right now it's called I changed it to Hearthlight Cleaning Company. And it was just like my own cleaning stuff. And it was very much like maid service when I started. But I want it to be more witchy. I want to use like cinnamon and fucking broomsticks and shit. And sage. And I still have that business, and I'm not gonna give up on it. And it's still alive. It's not dead. It's slow because it's literally like fucking December. People don't want to clean their houses in December. They want to clean their houses in the spring and the fall, mostly. It's when I had the most business. What else is my dream? Financial stability. I have materialistic things that I want, but I guess they are kind of important. I want a home and a garden, and I want to share that with people on the internet. I want to share that with people on the internet. And I love to share my story. I tried to start a business selling skincare, and I literally haven't had a single sale in 2 months. So I'm pretty sure I have to step away, but it's a brand partner with a company that I really like, and I want to do it. I just cannot afford to invest into something that is not making me money right now. And I want to do it. I want to work with this company, and I like the skincare they sell. I think it's really good. My skin looks nicer than it did 6 months ago. But also I've been stressed. And I've run out of some products and I can't afford to replace them. And to do that still. I want to work and build that business because I like that a lot. But I think more important than anything, my dream is around what my body is capable of, what my voice is capable of, what my body can do, the dancing, the athletic things, the gymnastics, and trying to achieve those things when your voice has been stifled for a lot of your life. Learning to sing is rebellious. It's an act of rebellion and defiance to the trauma you experienced, and learning to do remarkable things with your body is difficult when it needs to be nourished and taken care of, and you were neglected and never learned how to take care of yourself, or were not taken care of in the right way to help you grow. But I'm gonna do it anyways. So but the main goal right now is to show up 5 days a week to work and get out of debt and save money and not burn myself out, but also be able to pay all my bills. And while doing that, right? Because a lot of people, when you're in the process of healing, I couldn't have done this 5 years ago, but when you're in the process of healing, you don't have any fucking energy to try to run a business on the side, to try to do social media on the side, to try to build a side project. You don't have any energy or time for that because you're so wounded and hurt that you are so burnt out that you just need to rest and survival. And that's okay if that's how you are for several years. Now I'm in a place where the only option is to support myself fully. I miss the days when a couple could be fully supported on one person's income. Like the man could just work and it would pay for the whole family. Can we bring that back? And then I want to be someone's housewife, okay? With a business, side business. The housewife sounds so much fun. Sounds like so much fun, dude. I don't even want to vote, okay? Take away my right to vote. Let me be the housewife. All I gotta do is look cute, get money, get all the money you got, okay? Give me cute clothes, buy them for me. Let me live in this cute house, okay? And then in my spare time, I get to, I don't know why I said the vote thing, that's so silly. But I better have the right to fucking start a business, okay? Or have passion projects. Okay, that sounds great though. To not have to work 40 hours a week and just like the husband can do that. That's what I want. Anyway, but alas, that's not the case in this world or this time. So we have to be the husband and the wife. So I have to work 8 hours a day, and then after work I have to come home, and I'm pretty good at it, and build the life that I want. And it's going to get easier and easier as I can feel safer and afford food and afford to pull myself out of debt and afford nice things at the cost of my time. I used to think that was such a villain was losing all my time to a full-time job. But I'm learning that businesses aren't built overnight, full-time businesses. And even when you do build them, it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work still. And time. Granted, you're getting paid a lot more, but the work is harder, it's more complicated. And working for someone else is simple. Show up, clock in, do the same thing every day. Clock out, go home, get paid. Very low energy if it's the right job. Versus running a business is a lot of energy. Hence why it's more money. So, we're gonna try to do both. We're doing both. And that's what this new year's about. And I also want to start dancing, which is kind of psychotic. Like once a month at least. It's kind of psychotic to me. But I think I'm gonna do it. And we're trying to be social media and do social media. My goal is 500 followers on YouTube, or they're called subscribers, 500 subscribers. 500 followers on Instagram and 5,000 followers on TikTok, which I'm really close to. I think TikTok's gonna be the first one because I'm at like 3,700 and I get new followers all the time. Once you get like over a few thousand, it just starts to snowball a little bit. If you're consistent, and I am very consistent with TikTok. So yeah, those are my goals and dreams. And as far as what I want to do with the singing and the dancing, I think I want to put that on the internet. Yeah, and I kind of want to live in a place where I can perform. That's not really possible in New Mexico, other than being a stripper, which is fun, but not what I'm looking for. Like, I'm thinking I want to do that like once a month or so. It's quite fun. But, yeah, anyway. I already have 200 posts on Instagram. My old Instagram I had for 10 years, I had like 400 posts. I have 200 posts and 200 followers. On my old Instagram I had 400 posts and 600 followers. And I don't even know on my dancer page. Honestly, I made a dancer page Instagram. I would just promote my dancer stuff when I would go dance at the clubs and stuff, and the flyers, and then, you know, cute pictures of me at the gym and stuff. It got all the wrong attention, right? And you live and learn. You learn. But I got like 800 followers, and they were all like, damn, gross men, you know. And my new Instagram, the 200, really incredible, cool fucking people. It goes to show, when you start showing up a certain way, you attract what you are. And when you're just showing up as like slutty pictures and dancer and sex appeal, you're just gonna attract all the sleazy, weird, creepy men. But if you show up authentically as yourself, who's also sexy and hot, of course, you're going to attract good-hearted people that love you for who you are. That's what I'm proudest of about my Instagram. YouTube is interesting because I do make videos like this often, and I also am kind of a gaming channel, but then I do shorts and stuff. I'm not going to be one of those people who separate my channels into like a bunch of different separate little things to make them on brand. The brand is me, okay? And if you want video game content, all of that's gonna be on YouTube. It's only on YouTube. That's what makes YouTube special. Because Instagram and TikTok are sometimes some of the same stuff. Probably more content on TikTok, but yeah. But anyways, YouTube is just gaming, and then a lot of other stuff like long form, like me talking to the camera for an hour at 11:30 p.m., which is now probably 12:30, and I need to go to bed. But we can do that now. Do you want to see my apartment a little bit? I'll show you. Okay. Look at the beautiful colors. Isn't that pretty? That's my little studio area. Here is a Turkish lamp. Okay, let's just take a look around real quick. Okay, so here's my little studio area. It's where I make gaming videos. I'm so grateful for it. Really, that's where I record my singing too. I have a TV that I don't use as often. And then that's my vision board and my couch. I'm so lucky. Aren't I so lucky? I'm so lucky. You don't even know, dude. Like, I prayed for this exact couch about 2 years ago. Not the exact, but I wanted a white couch that had 2 places to sit. And this is a designer couch I found at the fucking thrift store. It's probably worth $1,200. I got it for like $300. This rug was only $40 too. It's beautiful. So a lot of the stuff I got for free too. Anyway, then this is my bar. It's just a little thing over there. There's some little cute little mushrooms and stuff like that. Okay, we're gonna go over here. We have not much time left. The kitchen looks like sink, stovetop and stuff. Okay. We've got bathroom sink, and in there is the bathroom. I know it looks kind of dark, but see, bathtub. Okay, and then what the hell was that? Oh, can you see? Bedroom. Looks cute, huh? It's really bright light, but I should probably get one that's less bright. This is my bedroom. That's my bed. That's just a witchy thing on the back. And of course, mirror. That's my altar, the little white thing. And then I'll go over here. So you can see, we have Van Gogh over there. That's my closet. Here's the bed. And then that is like a bookshelf and some other things. That's my vision board. More parts of it, vision board. That's some gay art. It's like one man, he's kind of like pounding another man. And there's me. And my plants and crystals and stuff, so that's my apartment. I'm going to bed now. Bye.